Sheryl Swoopes, she can't not try to light a fire involving Caitlin Clark. She can't just be good. She's trolling Caitlin Clark again, this time by celebrating the arrival of Paige Beck.
Sheryl Swoopes is once again in the spotlight after her recent WNBA exit, and this time she made waves without uttering a single word. She casually showed up on Gilbert Arenas' podcast, rocking a Paige Bucher's shirt now. Was this her way of lifting up a young star? Not quite, it was actually a sly dig at Caitlin Clark, cleverly disguised as support for another athlete. Truthfully, if Swoopes is being consistent with anything these days, it's her relentless attempts to downplay every success Clark manages.
With that being said, you big dummies, you getting paid now.
Right.
You asked me about Caitlin. If you're going to break a record, to me, if it's legitimate, you have to break that record in the same amount of time that player said it.
Okay.
Right.
Because honestly, the higher Caitlin Clark climbs, the more it seems to unsettle some past icons who aren't quite willing to bow out gracefully. And instead of celebrating the evolution of the sport, Swoopes continuously opts for resentment. She's not passing the baton, she's holding onto it like it's her last lifeline. But fans aren't blind. We see the repeated behavior, and it's starting to look more pathetic with each new incident.
We saw her get replaced during the Fever game for the Dallas Wings commentary team last year because of words and the hate she had towards Caitlin Clark. And it was just one thing after another. I said yesterday, even Stephen A. Smith crushed her last year.
This whole situation isn't about highlighting Paige. It's purely aimed at sustaining the tired old argument that Caitlin Clark hasn't earned her status. And frankly, people are losing patience with it fast.
Because when she comes to the league, regardless of what team she goes to that has vets on that team, she probably ain't gonna get 40 shots.
Caitlin never sought out fame. She built it by smashing records, performing with unmatched consistency, and maintaining composure under fire that few can replicate. Her journey wasn't pushed by media favoritism or political agendas. It was driven purely by her abilities, no gimmicks, no controversies, only pure brilliance. If you're tired of WNBA veterans trying to gatekeep the future, drop a CC for MVP in the comments. Because this pettiness is not just sad, it's deliberate and fans are catching on.
Caitlin is fantastic, and I think she's going to have an incredible career in the WNBA.
Who's going to be the next face of the NBA? We don't get to decide that. The marketplace decides that. The people have chosen Caitlin Clark.
What is she doing wrong? What more do you want from Caitlin Clark? Seriously, what more do you want from her? She's focusing on the game. She lifted her team up, got them to the playoffs, won Rookie of the Year, and then also is denouncing racial tensions when she's asked about it. I'm sorry, I don't see anything more that Caitlin Clark should have done or could have done.
Let's not act like this. Feud just suddenly appeared out of thin air. Swoopes has been targeting Clark well before Caitlin entered the professional scene. This isn't about a misquoted statement or an isolated video. It's an intentional campaign, a continual flow of criticisms, side remarks, and obvious shots, all aimed at dimming the hard-earned glow Caitlin Clark rightfully achieved.
She was remarkable on top of the fact that she had to deal with so much hate when she got to the WNBA.
I can't imagine this young lady, I don't want to use hate, but despised. And people just having, she brought some on herself a little bit because she's cocky for a good reason.
Confident.
And I love that about her. But to watch the dynamics and the media, they had their narrative. And I was pleased and proud to see the narrative wasn't
From throwing dirty glances during Clark's unforgettable college season to slamming her impact on the league before draft night even came, Swoopes has made her stance crystal clear. Remember when she belittled Caitlin's record-breaking NCAA tournament showing, or the time she got pulled from broadcasting because of her anti-Clark comments? Yeah, even Stephen A. Smith had to chime in and say, "Come on, Sheryl, now you're just going too far."
It was a stupid decision because it compromises what your ultimate goal is, which is to elevate the WNBA brand.
This isn't just a case of someone tossing out a fiery take. This is very obviously someone pushing a personal mission when your criticism gets you kicked off TV appearances. It's a clear signal. Something more serious is happening. What's happening here isn't harmless. It's outright professional envy, disguised as feedback. Swoopes isn't threatened by Caitlin's skills. She's scared Clark. might outshine her, bring bigger games, higher ratings, and a stronger WNBA ahead.
That's what a lot of these women are doing, is they feel like what we have done for this game, this young player has come into our game, and she's getting way more respect and all that stuff than we are. As she should. The young girl is a baller. The young girl has people watching because of the way she can shoot this basketball like Steph Curry. Steph Curry can't dunk. Steph Curry don't do none of that in the game. He can probably dunk by himself, but he don't really do none of that in the game. He is a shooter, and fans tune in to see Steph Curry.
Caitlin Clark's rookie season has already eclipsed some of the greatest seasons WNBA history has seen, including Swoopes' MVP campaign, and that's not an insult, that's a proven fact, but rather than applaud the arrival of a once-in-a-generation athlete, Swoopes has turned herself into Clark's biggest critic, not over love for the game, but because Caitlin's rise is rewriting. The power dynamic in Swoopes isn't willing to let that slip away.
Wake up and be mad. Never forget, in Swoopes' MVP season, she averaged less points, assists, and rebounds than Caitlin Clark's rookie season. Caitlin Clark's rookie year was quite a bit better than Sheryl Swoopes' MVP season.
When your past successes start to feel threatened, you do whatever it takes to grab the spotlight, and what faster way to get noticed than to throw shade at the most electrifying figure in women's basketball today.
No, Jax, you're absolutely right. And I was like, come on, you big dummies. Is she getting hyped? Yes. But she was in the backyard. She was putting in the same time, sometimes maybe more than you were.
Right.
I can't fault her for what she was given.
So yes, the WNBA was growing before Caitlin Clark. Make that abundantly clear. But it was growing incrementally compared to the exponential growth you're seeing now.
And that leads us back to the t-shirt incident. Swoopes strolls in sporting. Paige Bucher's name, as if it's just a random outfit choice, please. She knew exactly. The signal she was sending it wasn't a genuine shout-out to a young star. It was a thinly veiled attack. A cotton-draped message saying, I'll back a white player, just not that white player.
What are you doing? Look at this. Just stays, man. Were y'all talking about Caitlin Clark at this very moment? She knows what she's doing.
Let's be real. Swoopes never hyped Paige like this before, but now that Caitlin Clark dominates every headline, suddenly Paige is being marketed as the perfect star, save us the drama. The agenda was painfully obvious. Paige Bucher's fits the mold. Traditional WNBA circles admire politically. Vocal, socially aware, and easy to steer Caitlin. However, defies that mold. She doesn't engage in politics. She doesn't chase clout. She simply excels through sheer brilliance.
Now, I've got a theory. Oh, look at me. I'm not really racist because I'm wearing the white girl's shirt. You see that? But the girl from the Midwest, y'all just happen to hate her completely.
And that's exactly why figures like Sheryl Swoopes are intimidated, because Caitlin Clark doesn't need their approval. She doesn't obey their unwritten codes. She's rewriting the whole playbook on her own terms.
The only problem with this is, and this has been the problem the whole time with the Paige-Caitlin comparison, Paige is an activist basketball player just like these old WNBA players that's been in the league. All right? They're shilling she's all up in all the social stuff. And so that's why they're letting her in. That's why they're cool with her.
So let's not pretend this was ever about Paige. This was a not-so-subtle, cheap shot disguised as backing. It's the oldest trick in the book. Pit two women against each other to send a message you're too afraid to say aloud. But here's the twist. The fans are woke. They've seen Swoopes' history. They've heard the digs. They spot the trend. So when she wears that shirt, it doesn't scream support. It screams resentment. It screams fear. It screams desperation for a fading throne.
The reason that Caitlin Clark is getting all of this attention is because she is an anomaly. She is a phenomenal player, and Paige Bueckers is also a phenomenal player, but it just isn't the same. She doesn't do the same things. She doesn't do the things that have never been seen.
And honestly, the saddest part is Paige Bueckers deserves so much more than being made a pawn in someone else's grudge. She's a phenomenal player herself. She didn't ask to be caught up in a rivalry she never signed up for against Caitlin Clark.
We want to see Caitlin Clark, and we want to see Paige Bueckers.
Caitlin scored more points per game, but Paige was more efficient.
At the end of it all, there's only one clear fact. Caitlin Clark's greatness is undeniable, and no amount of petty shots will dim her light. So Sheryl, you can wear as many shirts as you like, but the records, the fans, and the fame are all tied to one name, and that name is Clark.
I enjoy watching her play, her style, her energy, her shot. Whether it's because her game mirrors one of the greatest players in the NBA in Steph Curry or not, I don't know what it is. It's an intangible thing, right? Yes, we can say she's a dog. Okay, there's been other dogs. Okay, she's a great shooter. There's been other great shooters. She has it. She's got the thing.
And for Caitlin Clark to have the awareness to drive the eyeballs there, you have to give her so much.
Let's be blunt. Sheryl Swoopes isn't bitter because Caitlin Clark is over-publicized. She's bitter because Caitlin Clark is untouchable. And that truth has exposed old insecurities among those who once ruled when a newcomer claims the spotlight without playing politics or asking permission. The old guard starts scrambling. That's exactly what's unfolding between Sheryl Swoopes and the WNBA's aging establishment.
Most points by a point guard in a season in WNBA history. Most double-doubles by a rookie guard in WNBA history. Most points by a rookie in WNBA history. Most assists by a rookie in the history of the WNBA. First WNBA rookie to record 2 triple-doubles. First triple-double by a rookie in WNBA history. First triple-double in Fever history. The first player to be named WNBA Player of the Month and Rookie of the Month in the same month. First player in WNBA history with 20 or more points, 15 or more assists, and 5 or more rebounds in a game.
Instead of applauding Clark's monumental influence, Swoopes falls back on childish moves like flaunting a Paige Bucher's tee, pretending it's harmless, but the audience isn't fooled. It's a flimsy smokescreen, a passive shot masked as positivity. It's a reaction fueled by discomfort, not real encouragement. And sadly, Swoopes thinks people won't catch the trend. But we see it loud and clear every single time.
What happened is Caitlin Clark in her sophomore year and really in her junior year just started excelling and doing things that nobody had ever seen a female basketball player do. Like nobody had consistently been shooting these from the logo pass.
The harsh truth is Caitlin Clark achieved in just one season what many icons couldn't touch over full careers. This isn't hate, it's simple reality. Sold-out venues, record-breaking TV audiences, massive revenue, boosts and jersey sales outpacing NBA stars. She's awakening a fresh wave of fans in cities that barely knew the WNBA existed before her. That's not hype, that's genuine impact, and no wardrobe choice will erase it. Let's be honest. The endless shade isn't about Clark's flaws, it's about the fear of being left behind. Swoopes struggles with the fact that Clark isn't chasing greatness. She's already matching, and even beating it in some areas for a pioneer like Swoopes. That's a bitter truth, but true legends lift the next generation instead of guarding the past.
So many players who cite you as an inspiration for their games, including Caitlin Clark, who's just absolutely a phenomenon in college. What's that next step like for her?
You know, next steps, gosh, in this generation, right? You have, I think, just so many more challenges of how to handle yourself as an adult, right? You go through that whirlwind of being a senior in college, transitioning into the W. And then the next step is how to become just an even better leader. And so much of leadership, I think, is listening and learning. And hopefully the more she can get connected to vets in the league and just different people and coaches and anyone that she can glean wisdom from of how to just continue to learn how to be as a connected and inspiring leader as she can be. And a lot of that is walking the walk and not just talking the talk. So she's already on her way, but continuing to have fun, continuing to anticipate how people are going to try to stop her and being prepared as she can be for next season.
We also need to be honest. This isn't just about Clark staying away from politics. It's about what her success represents. Clark isn't begging the league's veterans for acceptance. She isn't fitting into their crafted roles. She's simply playing ball. And that's triggering a major identity crisis across the WNBA's old guard. Notice how fouls on her are framed. It's rarely about the foul. It's about questioning her place. And honestly, if this was any other rookie, they'd be celebrated. But because Clark disrupts their preferred story, she's treated differently. Meanwhile, others can foul hard, lose games, and still be praised, simply because they stick to the script.
I remember when the WNBA started. I was thrilled. I was a fan. I couldn't believe it was an opportunity for me, a 5'2", 97-pound girl, to go play professional basketball. That wasn't going to happen for me, but the idea that it existed was special to me. And now she's offering that to not just little girls, but little boys as well. She's spread the fan base.
Swoopes and others aren't offering real critique. This is all about bruised pride. This is a battle for relevance. Caitlin's rise is tearing down old league hierarchies, and that's terrifying for the establishment. But the reality remains clear. You can't stop a tidal wave by pretending it's a ripple. You either move with it or get swept aside. Once again, look at the hard numbers. Clark's rookie stats didn't just live. Up to the hype, they smashed it. Rookie of the Month, Player of the Week, fan-voted All-Star. She's collecting honors faster than reporters can update, and yet critics keep whining about her image like excellence needs a checklist. Now, it's ridiculous. Caitlin Clark owes everything to her craft, and she's delivered spectacularly.
Level. She won Rookie of the Month 4 times, Eastern Conference Player of the Week 3 times, single-season rookie record for assists, single-season rookie record for three-pointers, single-game record for assists, 19, franchise record for most double-doubles, three-pointers, career 10 or more assists in a game, franchise record for most career 10 or more assists in a game. Fastest WNBA player to reach 100 three-pointers. She did it in 34 games, most assists by a rookie in a WNBA All-Star game for which she received the most fan votes ever, 700,000 of those. Fastest player to reach 350 points and 150 assists to start a season regardless of years in the league. People will say, pay more attention to the other folks. Like, she couldn't do it herself. You know, LeBron has teammates, Jordan had teammates. I understand.
The Swoopes stunt on Gilbert Arenas' show, let's call it straight. It was a calculated PR move disguised as fandom swoops, didn't throw. On a Paige Bucher's jersey, because she's some lifelong UConn fan. She wore it because it was the cleanest way to slight Clark while pretending to stay supportive. See, it's not about disliking all white stars, just the one who's a threat. It was peak passive aggressiveness. Paige Bucher's didn't deserve to be dragged into this. She earned her own spotlight, but now she's being used as a mascot for the approved version of stardom. And that's wrong. The WNBA doesn't need another cold civil war of coded favoritism. It needs realness. And the truth is, Caitlin Clark has brought more buzz to the league than anyone in 2 decades.
It almost felt like marketers were trying to figure out, like, yeah, we have all of these amazing players and these amazing personalities, but can we push the demographic? And then when Caitlin Clark got to the league, the Angel Reeses got to the league, and they might have been fouled hard. The same thing I saw happen with Shamika Hosklar, though.
You see my tooth knocked out?
Yeah,
Rookie season, Jewel Lloyd. My tooth knocked out. I still didn't get it.
So how do you?
It's cool.
T-Clark, how do you feel about the fact that all of a sudden it was, oh, it's too physical. Oh, they're going at them because they're stars. What was your reaction to some of the new viewers and fans to the game thinking that the WNBA was too rough?
It was a crazy season because we have never had so much momentum behind our league, so much support, demand, viewership, all that, accessibility. But the craziness that came with the new fandom was rooted in something other than fandom, right? And I think that's very evident to see across the board. In a lot of ways, it has not been about basketball. Like, we can talk about, you know, people getting fouled. I just showed you my tooth getting knocked out. Like, that's been a part of the game. The game has always been physical.
While Swoopes clings to yesterday, Clark is crafting tomorrow. She's pulling. Viewers making headlines not through drama, but through pure excellence. She's not stirring political pots. She's simply balling better than almost everyone. Let critics roll their eyes. Let them toss snarky digs. Let them flex message tease. Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark is doing precisely what legends should want. Making the WNBA appointment television, she's showing up, taking over, and putting real electricity back into women's hoops. And wasn't that supposed to be the dream from the beginning interview?
It gets blown up into, oh, they're going after Caitlin Clark, but no, we're just playing one of the best players that's in this league the way that any other best player, franchise player is going to get played. Mm-hmm. Watch how Stewie gets played. Watch how Asia gets played. Watch how Arike gets played. Watch how Khalid gets played. Go down the list of franchise players for every team. They be getting fucked up every game. It don't matter what position you are, what color you are, what school you came out of. This is how we feed our families. Our job is to go and win, and if we don't win, what happens? We get fired. We lose our jobs.
So, as the haters grow louder and the critiques get pettier, remember, real greatness never needs applause. It proves itself every game. And Caitlin Clark is doing just that, smashing records, filling arenas, and leaving a trail of confused. Critics Sheryl Swoopes can wear all the tees she wants. Angel Reese can fire off all the sub-tweets she wants. But while they play online games, Caitlin Clark is winning where it counts on the hardwood. So if you're Team Clark, if you're done with The fake controversies, drop a CC for MVP in the comments. And let everyone know Caitlyn isn't just participating in the new wave, she's commanding it. And she's only just begun. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell so you stay updated. Click the next video popping up and let's keep this momentum rolling.